So, Christian, there was no choice for Christian to turn heel. So that's what it was. But, just really, the spear spot was really, really exciting. And Orton and Christian, a great series of matches. They've been on this countdown plenty of times, and it was well deserved. All right, number 10, Roderick Strong versus Eddie Edwards. This is from Manhattan Mayhem 4. I would agree. Definitely not as good as the Ringmasters Challenge. It did drag at some points, but I would say that this moment when Eddie won the belt, wow, it was such a great moment. It definitely was. I'm not going to say that Eddie and Roderick were by far superior to the matches that Eddie and Davey had. I think I'd be lying if I said that, but still, these two guys took a lot of criticism this year, but I still thought they got the job done, and I thought that this moment really delivered big time. So, and just being there live, I was there live, so I probably appreciate this more than other people do, and I probably marked out harder than ever at a Ring of Honor show, and Eddie won the belt. All right, number 9, we have Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose from FCW. Amazing stuff. I'm not quite sure, but I think the first time I watched this match, I think I shut it off after the 30-minute time limit draw. I'm not quite sure about that, but I think I might have, which is shame on me because, God, that overtime was crazy. Tyler Black has improved a lot since then. Watching this match, there was like the last couple minutes, you were just like in ecstasy. It was so well done. I mean, it shows this is how good the match was. They were like 15 minutes into the match, and they were saying that this is the best match in FCW history. So, and Jon Moxley has lost a lot of weight, and he's gotten himself into shape. And this was just really, really good storytelling. And it just makes you feel really, really. See, this is another reason why I felt like WWE had the edge on Ring of Honor this year. Because even stuff like this, you have such a positive feeling in your stomach. Like, this is what's ahead. You got all these guys that made Ring of Honor what it is, like in the Indies what they are today, like Tyler Black and Jon Moxley, and that they're right around the corner. It just makes you feel very excited. All right, number 8, Sami Callihan versus Finlay from Evolve 9. Some people thought this was kind of disappointing because Gabe Sapolsky said it was a match of the year candidate. They disagree with that. It's probably because it's not as athletic and it doesn't have a whole bunch of near falls. But as far as, Finlay was a genius in this fucking match. And, I agree with AMC N1. If Ring of Honor could snatch up Finlay as a road agent, that would be beautiful. It's just, I would say Finlay does a better job out of anyone I've seen at using things to their advantage. Like, he uses the referee to his advantage. He uses the ring, what do I say? What do you call it? The ring apron to its advantage. He uses everything. And that's what makes him so great. He's just so fucking smart out there, and every single thing he does is no waste of motion. Every single, like, he gets. Edge was talking about this a couple years ago, how back in the day you could get so much more mileage out of a punch because of the way they did it back then. Well, it's the same thing with Finlay. He gets so much more mileage. Obviously, he's older, so he's got to do that. So he gets so much more mileage out of every single move than your typical guy. And Sami Callihan's had a breakout year, and this is definitely good booking, I thought. I thought Callihan was the right guy to put Finlay against. All right, next up, number 7, Eddie Kingston versus Mike Quackenbush, high noon. Yet Eddie Kingston cut that awesome promo. Eddie and Quack had, definitely the crowd really was great for this match as well. I would definitely say that. And I thought it would be split, to tell you the truth, but I think with Eddie's promo, that's why, it felt like Quackenbush was the heel and Eddie was the face. I think everyone really connected with Eddie with that promo, and definitely the first ever Chikara Grand Champion at high noon. Jun Akiyama versus Suwama, All Japan. A lot of people say the Puro match of the year. I can't disagree with you, man. Akiyama, the first ever triple crown champion, defeating Suwama in All Japan. You have an outsider coming to All Japan and actually winning the belt. It's a pretty big deal, and once again, just another awesome match. Number 5, the Roderick Strong versus Eddie Edwards from Death Before Dishonor 9, the Ringmasters Challenge. All right, so this is proof that Ring of Honor could put on a long match and still keep people on the edge of their seat. And I think the Ringmasters Challenge thing, the 30 seconds of rest, I think that helped the match become a little bit more easier to digest for the New York City fans. Not to mention, I think for some reason the Grand Ballroom seems to be a little bit more easier to perform in front of than the Hammerstein Ballroom, that as well. And Roderick and Eddie worked hard as hell, and I thought they had a really just they busted their ass and put on. You have to be in a phenomenal condition to put on this type of match. I don't care what anybody says. You have to admire the conditioning of both men in this match because it was off the charts. All right, number 4, Kevin Steen versus El Generico from Steen Wolf, the ladder match for the PWG title. I'm just going to say it now, Kevin Steen's got to watch out. You can't be having this type of match more than once or twice a year because he took some. And El Generico as well, who's having neck problems, and maybe it's because of this match. So, and, enough has been said about this match. Great ladder match. Also, Super Dragon's return, probably one of the best indie moments of the year. Number 3, Triple H versus The Undertaker from WrestleMania. Awesome match. I can't deny it. This match is awesome. It's, my cousin, I have a cousin that watches wrestling, and they're younger, and they both thought the WrestleMania X7 match is better, which is kind of weird. But both guys brought their A game. Triple H took one of the bump of the year, in my opinion, is when he took that bump off the announce table. For him to be that big and to take that bump is very, very risky. You could definitely do damage to your back. So, and I don't know. Some people thought the near falls, they kind of overdid it with them. I thought, given how old both guys are and the injury problems, they had the best match that they could have had to keep the fans into it. WrestleMania needed to deliver an epic match, and this is what they gave them. My only problem with it is I'm just kind of frustrated because I feel like Taker is the only guy that's allowed to have the match of the night at WrestleMania over the last couple of years, and I just think it's kind of unfair. But still, you can't deny the effort. The effort was off the chart. They had the crowd on the edge of their seats. An amazing, amazing match. If you thought this was the match of the year, I can't deny it. I'm not going to be negative about it like I was a couple weeks ago. This was amazing. Next up, number 2, Davey Richards versus Eddie Edwards, best in the world. I think it's 5 stars. I think, some people, maybe the moves seem kind of random, but the execution of what they pulled off was pretty much flawless. I mean, these guys are so skilled. It's unbelievable. The selling was kind of inconsistent. I would agree with that, especially at the end of the match. They definitely weren't selling. But I don't know. I thought this came together really nicely. I'll still give it 5 stars. I still thought, the crowd, they had the crowd into it, unlike the final battle match. Obviously, Davey winning the match definitely helps a little bit. But the storytelling was good. I mean, the storytelling aspect of it was kind of underrated, though. You did have the dragon leg screw spot on the ropes, which is really cool. You had a lot of, you had a lot of great counters to high spots. You had a lot of memorable things in the match. I'm not crazy about the finish, but I think it's an acceptable finish. Though I think they probably could have went longer here, actually, unlike the final battle match, which I think got too much time. So that's funny. But yeah, and also I think Davey and Eddie, the first time they really went at it, and also I think Eddie being the champion going in, made the thing a little bit more interesting. All right, number 1, John Cena versus CM Punk, Money in the Bank. Don't really want to talk about it. Enough has been said about it. But let me just say this. Regardless of the Punk promo, this is going to be a great match and get a great reaction. But Punk's promo took it from just being, your typical, hot Chicago main event to propelling it to that Rock Hogan, WrestleMania 18 atmosphere. And because of the promo, I think that's why, you had such an emotional, and the booking was great as well. I just loved it with the Laurinaitis spot and how they closed the show with Del Rio as well coming out. I thought that even added to the whole thing. So that's pretty much it. We're done with 2011. I'm done talking about matches. If you guys watch this whole thing, I really appreciate it. I don't even know how well this came out, but definitely thanks for listening. Appreciate it.